Hey everybody, welcome to BodyMagick. We wanted to have a tea and a talk with you guys, and today's subject is body image. Yeah. So I just want to share a little bit about my experience. Maybe Ilyra will share a little bit about hers, and we'll start this discussion. And we'd love for you to join in, comment, send us messages about your experiences, and let's get this going. So as a yoga teacher, I have felt very self-conscious about my body. I was an overweight kid, I was an overweight teenager, I lost a lot of weight coming into my late teens, early 20s, and then I was very underweight. I had my daughter, I became overweight again. A few years after that, I became very underweight, and then so I've had like a really stressed relationship with like before and after pictures, because I'm like, before and after what? I don't think that that's how we should view our bodies or treat our bodies. One thing that has happened for me in becoming a yoga teacher is that my body is stronger than it's ever been. So I can trust it. And so without the mirror, without the camera, I have a great relationship with my body, or it's becoming great. And then, I hold myself to this standard of what we think yoga teachers should be. I think that standard is ridiculous, but then I hold myself to it. I'm sure lots of people can relate to that. So I want to open up this discussion and help others to feel that they're not alone in this. What do you...
I think for me, I have grown up with a lot of hormonal issues, and so like anything else, your body works in cycles, and I come from a family who are all very fit and easily lose weight, and I don't, and that was always kind of an issue for me. And then I was also very self-conscious about the way that I looked while trying to maintain my healthy body image. So not having the control over my hormonal fluctuations, and then not being able to find an accessible support as far as health and fitness went until I started doing more yoga. That wasn't like covered in like cool gym clothes and like mirror selfies and all that kind of stuff. Like I didn't need to see somebody's mirror selfies. I needed somebody to coach me through what I was supposed to be doing properly. And then I found myself, like Liz said, getting stronger, and I'm more in tune with the way my body works, and I can feel when things are fluctuating, and I'm a lot more I'm a lot more in my body than in my head, and it makes me feel more comfortable. So I can carry myself with a knowledge of myself that I didn't have before, and I find that is something that is often left out of the discussion of health and fitness, is how you feel within yourself and how you relate to the skin that you're wearing, as opposed to just how you present it to everybody else.
Yeah, and I feel like it becomes this like, oh yeah, it's what's on the inside that counts. Mm-hmm. But we're really, what we're both talking about is like a very embodied experience. It's like with more awareness and more reverence for the body, and not just like how you've bullied it into submission. Yeah. Or the ways that I got thin before. Like I had an eating disorder. So I have body dysmorphia from struggling with my relationship with food, and so it was not a stretch for me to jump into losing weight in an unhealthy way, where like obsessively exercising or restricting and controlling what went into my body or what didn't go into my body. And there's like a freedom in being like, okay, I'm active and I can have a donut if I want to.
Or like half a dozen of them.
No,
we don't do that. I think coming into a lot of that knowledge of the way my body worked helped me realize that self-love and self-care and the way you love yourself like you said, like there's that idea of like love yourself first and all that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
loving myself isn't related to the way that my body looks as much now as the way that it functions. I love that I'm aware of what's happening, and I love that even if I've become bloated, it's because I know how my body is interacting with what I've nourished it with, as opposed to just like, I'm fat today, or so, which is something that I'm sure we've all felt a whole bunch of times, but I know the cause and effect, and that allows me to explore that inner love a little bit more than just what I'm presenting to other people.
Yeah. And I wonder what the way forward is for this, for people. Like, I don't think, like, is it representation? One of the things that makes me uncomfortable is that, like, I'm obviously a bigger yoga teacher, and that makes me like a token for relatable body image, which also makes me uncomfortable. Because my body is still being singled out, not in its strength or its ability, but by the shape of it or the size of it, right? And I'm still caught in that idea that I need to be slimmer to go on video and practice and to make the videos. Like, Ilyra is the one that goes on camera. Because I'm working through these issues, right? So what is the way forward for all of us? And like, how can we change from within the image that we are expecting of ourselves? I think for me, the goddess image, like the old goddess image and the old timey paintings, I'm like, that's a relatable body.
I've seen that when I look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm like, oh, that little paunch is relatable. And again, the feel of my body is very different from the look of my body.
Right.
So how do we make those images come together? How do we make those two things come together?
Right. And I think that, like, that's not to say that the people who work out and do so much and have incredible athletic bodies, like, they should be proud of themselves.
Yeah,
like, by
absolutely.
all means, I think that's fantastic as well. And I think that adds to that, like, how do we find space being comfortable in what we have compared to those people finding space being comfortable in what they have?
Yes. Yeah. Well, and being on both ends of the spectrum, like being overweight and then being underweight, I have been called all kinds of names on the bigger end of the spectrum, especially when you're a kid or like a teenager. And then I was like, I lost all this weight, feeling really proud of myself, and then I was called a skinny bitch, and was put down for how small I was, and how I looked in that way. And it was like, wait, haven't I arrived? Like, I thought that I had arrived.
This was supposed to be my glory moment. This is where everyone told me I needed to be.
And now I'm like being ridiculed actually just as much. So absolutely. Like, I don't think that it's about curvy bodies are the only bodies, like, by no means. But how can we all be more comfortable in what we have? I think part of the key is like that feeling, that embodied, where it's like, you know, I'm strong enough that I can walk long distances and feel like I can lift things that I couldn't lift before, and all of these things are like, yeah, like my body is like kicking butt. And I wish that I could treat it the same when I look at it, I guess, is like where.
Yeah, absolutely. I can chase toddlers around with reckless abandon and crawl around on all fours like a little goblin monster and not be winded, and that's very important to me. But when I look in the mirror,
it's very important to you.
Very important to me. But when I look in the mirror, I wonder sometimes how I can embody that comfort more when I see myself.
Yeah. I feel like maybe, and this is where I'd like you guys to weigh in. I feel like maybe having some kind of like relationship with your mirror. There must be like a relationship there that you can form like a negotiation you can enter into or something.
Listen, mirror.
Yeah. I'm coming to you vulnerable, and I would appreciate if you respected my vulnerability. Is that it? I'm going to try that.
You should. I mean, we use the mirror in shadow work a lot to show us the things about ourselves that we need to work on or that need to be fixed. But I wonder if there's a way that we can use the mirror to show ourselves the things that we have within that deserve to be viewed a little bit more.
Ah, that's beautiful. I love that. All right, we have to end it here.
Oh.
All right, bye guys. Bye.